Hey guys, what's going on? This is Jesse. I'm just going to do a video today on how I get some sick AC/DC Angus Young kind of tones on my Kemper profiler. So I'm using an SG style guitar here. I've got the Kemper profiler as I said, so I'm going to go through two different ways that I get the AC/DC kind of tone. I was kind of shooting for like a Back in Black era, for those about to rock, you know, around like the early 80s sort of era of Angus Young sort of tone. So I'm just going to get stuck into it and let's go check it out. Okay, so for this first round of the tones, I'm going to be checking out a profile I made of one of my own amps that I called the Rock Box. It's basically like a 100 watt Plexi. I actually did a video where I profiled this, and you can download the profile as well. If anyone watching has a Kemper, you can download it and use it on your own Kemper. So here's the link to the video here on the screen. For those of you who are familiar with Angus's, with AC/DC and Angus Young, he uses basically Gibson SG through Marshall heads. You know, pretty much he's done that his whole career. So I figured, you know, a profile of my Marshall, 100 watt Marshall and an SG should get me pretty close. So this is with just the stock profile, just as I profiled my amp, without any tweaking or anything added to it. Okay, so after I profiled my amp, I went into the Kemper's menu settings and I changed a couple of things. I just added a little bit of clarity and a little bit of definition to the amp. It was a little bit bass heavy and a little bit, just a little bit muddy sounding, I think, for the AC/DC kind of tone. So I just cranked those up a little bit, and let's have a listen to that. For you guys that have been sort of checking out Angus's gear or know a bit about it, he used I think it was a Schaefer wireless system he used to use. It actually has a preamp built into it, which kind of gives his guitar a little bit of a boost. So I don't have one of those wireless units or one of the preamps or anything, so I just added a graphic EQ on the Kemper and just turned the volume up, so it's just basically like a clean boost to replicate what Angus would have done with his wireless unit with the preamp in it. Okay, so after we've done that, pretty much the only thing left to do is just add a bit of reverb. So I just kind of added a medium kind of reverb. Nothing. It wasn't too short, wasn't too long, wasn't too wet of a reverb sound. Just something nice and sort of middle ground. Okay, so there you have it. So there's the first round of tones. So that's using my Rock Box amplifier profile in the Kemper to get an Angus Young kind of tone. So let's check out another method of getting Angus Young kind of tone. Okay, so for this second round of tones, I actually went with a commercial profile that you can buy. This one was a Top Jimmy 1968 Marshall Super Lead profile set. The Top Jimmy profile packs come with a few different levels of gain, so I think this was the medium gain one. And then I basically just took the reverb out and just used the profile, so that's what this sounded like. Okay, so once I did that, I had a little bit of a tweak with the EQ, nothing very severe. I just added a little bit of treble and presence and just cut a little bit of the bass just to kind of brighten it up and get a bit of that boomy bottom end out of there. So that's what this sounded like. Lastly, same Same thing as I mentioned before with the Schaefer wireless preamp, you know, not having one of those, I just added a clean boost, just a graphic equalizer with a couple of dB volume boost to the front end of the amp, and that sounded like this. Once we got that, you know, I'm reasonably happy with that. So last thing is just to add a little bit of reverb. So I just went ahead and added some reverb back into it, and that sounded like this. Okay, so there you have it. So that was the Top Jimmy 68 Super Lead profile version of the Angus Young tone. There's two different ways I went about getting my AC/DC tone. I mean, there's a million ways you can do it, but those were two of my favourite sort of tones. You know, slightly different, but I think they're both pretty good, and they both pretty similar to Angus's tone, especially around the early 80s kind of era. Hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, let me know in the comments below which tone you prefer. Did you prefer the Rockbox one or the 68 Super Lead one? I really like both the tones, so leave comments below and subscribe and all that jazz, and thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you again soon.